Okay, you guys, we are back for another Just Our Imagination. Ooh, I don't know why I do that. Nobody cares. Nobody wants me to sing, but I just can't help myself. She likes my singing, apparently. Anyway, so this month's challenge items. Listen, when Brenda asked me, and I was like, I don't know what to pick. I'm always the last to pick because I have such a hard time because I don't want to be too hard on anybody. I just got out of the shower. I was picking my hair, so I picked the pick, even though I said I didn't know what to pick. Pick the pick, and then Tiffany, she won this month, and she decided to pick a hairbrush. I'm like, what's going on in this crazy world of ours? And then Brenda picked coffee filters. I went to Kroger and got mine because I was going to coffee stain them anyway. And I was like, why not just buy the brown ones? And so that's what I did. And this is Jessie Jane. She's famous. You all know her. Everybody knows her. They know her more better than they know me. Anyway, and that's it, y'all. So I hope y'all enjoy the video. Please give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe. I am working on a video that shows everybody how to subscribe on each device. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, I got one thing left to say. Let's get on with the video. Okay, y'all, don't judge me on this one, but right here, well, those don't judge me there either. That's from Wanda Cruz. It was upside down, and they're 12-inch dowel rods from the Dollar Tree, and one of those little round things from the Dollar Tree, you know, they've had them for years, and I'm just going to find the center here the best I can, because y'all know me and my measuring, but anyway, I actually did it. I was very proud of myself, and after I do that, I'm going to take this 3/8-inch Bossner bit, and I'm going to drill about halfway down into my little round piece there, yeah. And then after I do that, I'm going to take some wood glue, and I'm going to put it, well, I'm going to make sure it fits first. And I'm going to put it down inside of my hole and on the dowel rod itself. Oh my goodness, I'm already talking faster than I'm going. This is not going to go well. So, and then I just wipe off the excess glue. And Brenda picked the coffee filters, as y'all saw. And I had just, I don't know, I folded it in half, and then I folded it again in a half, I guess. I folded the half in half. Okay. And then I folded the half in half and the half. I kept folding it, okay? And then I'm going to cut off the tip there. Now, I had guessed a couple times, and on the third time I got it right, and I'm like, yes! And then I'm like, no, they're going to want to know. And I don't know, probably y'all will never make this, and just heed my words later on video. Anyway, so I just decided I would measure it for you guys. And, well, here's the measurement. 4 lines. What's the 4th line? Well, that's my measurement. So I was going to ask honey what it was, and I forgot, y'all. So I wrote it down for you. Because y'all weren't supposed to hear me saying all that. I was talking to myself, but yet talking to y'all, and y'all would have never heard. But it was the 4th line down on the tape measure. That's all I know. It was on the centimeter side, or millimeter. Centimeter? Is that what? It's centimeter, I think. I don't know anymore, y'all. Anyway, millimeter, I don't know what it is. Wasn't on the inch side. Let's just say that. Yeah. So anyway, right here, I didn't know. I measured in a half an inch. And then I cut it because it was getting easier to do it this way, because I needed to cut that snip off, because they were getting so thick, y'all. I was using entirely too many. And I mean entirely too many. First I used none, and then after you have to cut a half an inch off, that's why you have to cut it. And yeah, so I glued up 6 inches. And because it was like dragging bottom, you know what I mean? And I didn't want it all the way down to the bottom. But you know what? It may look better if I'd done that. Should have lifted it up. I don't know. I would have had to go buy another pack of coffee filters. I'm sorry. I'm talking really fast. Because I used entirely too many. I was using like 20 to 30 probably of each one. And now I know that's unnecessary. So, anyway, and I just keep folding them and cutting them. And I started with a 1/2 inch. And y'all, I go all the way up to 4.5 inches. Yeah. And you'll see, I just keep folding. I think I'm at 1 inch and one. I was at, no, don't look at that. It says, I was at 1 inch there, not, yeah, I was at 1 inch, not 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch was the first cut. That was 1 inch. So, anyway, I know, I don't know what I'm doing. Y'all know I don't know what I'm doing. So, I just keep going and just keep putting them on there. And I moved the hot glue. I started off with Aleene's and then I went to the glue stick. And it was just easier to do it with hot glue. But, and plus, I didn't realize, but when I was doing that and I was separating them, I thought, when it's all said and done, they were some stuck together. And then when I finished it, I found 4 more stuck together. So, you'll see how this plays out. But, yeah, I just kept going. And then I think I'm at 2 inches or 1.5 inches there. And I'm not going to show you all of them, but I just wanted you to know what I did. And then I get to this point, I'm like, that don't look right. And maybe if I shake it, it'll look different. I turned it upside down. I shook it all about. I mean, and it wasn't working. And right here is when I realized I'm out of coffee filter. I'm not going to be able to cut anymore if I keep going. You know what I mean? So then I made me a top for it and I glued it on. And then I'm like, shake it again. Let's shake it and shake it. Will it still look right? Will it look right then? No. Okay, you guys, because I totally have no clue what I'm doing. This dog. I put way too many. Yeah. And, so, let me show you. I tore all these off. And I'm going to cut these off too. My suggestion would be, either one, if you know anybody that's ever done this, to go find theirs and see what they did. Or, well, shoot. If I could turn back time and know I'm not Cher, I would only put like 3 per size. I learned my lesson. So, and then what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to, I'm going to raise these up like this, and I'm going to start tacking them up so I can layer it the way I want it to look. You know what I'm saying? Well, I think I'm smart, and I'm not. So I went through all that. And then that's when I realized I had some stuck together, and I'm like, I cannot cut off anymore. I don't know what's going to happen. And I just go with it. And then it ends up all discombobulated again, and I'm like, whatever. So I stained my base with antique wax and just a wet wipe, and I stained the dowel rod also. And just Mr. Miyagi, you know, wax on, wax off. And then I thought, oh, I'm going to hit the ends of it with this antique green. It's like my favorite green. Been using it for 4 years. It's beautiful. Folk Art makes it. It's a chalk paint. And, yeah, then I went too hard a couple spots, so I painted it green. And then, of course, you know, I picked the pick as a challenge item. So we're going to implement this pick. And I tried multiple ways to remove those little stick things, but there was nothing except that heat knife, whatever it is. And right here, I'm going to weave this. And I originally glued 6 around it, you know, 2 across from each other, 2 across, anyway, to make it even. But to do a weave, you need 7. So later, I have to add another one when it hits me. Then I'm like, oh, man. So I'm going to take this braided jute ribbon. I don't know what it is. I just listened to what Brenda had said. And it's in my Amazon store, though. And I glue it around my thing and then cut it off. And then I glue it around one more time to cover it up completely. And that glue did not want to stick to that pick. But there, I'm going to take some jute twine. And I'm just going to double knot it on one of those pick pieces. And then I'm going to tack it down with hot glue. And then I'm going to go in and then out. Or you can, yeah, in and then out. You take one behind and one, and then I messed it up there, but I go back and fix it. But you take one on top of the, it's usually done with skewers or dowel rods. And you take one on top and one behind, and then one on top and one behind. And I realized I'd messed up, so I wanted to re-show y'all, but I did not realize that I didn't take it out. So anyway, and plus I realized I needed to add another one. And the piece was so slick that I had to tack down each piece each time I wrapped it around. And I'm like, dude, this is a killer. So anyway, I just watched myself age like 30 more years. When you come to the top, make sure you hot glue it down all the way around and snip off any excess like stick you have sticking out. And then I'm going to run some hot glue around it again and another bit of that braided jute ribbon stuff that's in my Amazon store. Anyway, oh, and I finally got to buy me a Mountain Dew, guys. A lot of people have been asking. I'd never done it, and so I have a buy me a Mountain Dew. You don't feel obligated to buy me a. It's not. I put Mountain Dew instead of coffee because I think I'm funny. But well, look at my shirt. Anyway, and then I tripped over that wire yesterday. It's got like gold foil on it, and I was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I used it, and then I'm cut off a piece of that felt ribbon there, and I take these little teeny tiny words that I accidentally ordered from Amazon, and they're in my Amazon store, and there's like 3,000 of them. Yeah. And I'm just going to take Aleene's and put Merry Christmas on there, and I'm going to take Aleene's and some hot glue, and I'm going to glue that to the front of my basket there. Yep. And then I'm going to make a bow, but I couldn't get a bow to look right. So what I did is made a loop and hot glued it together. And then I'm going to make another loop here. It's a little bit bigger. And hot glue it and to itself, see? And then I'm going to take another piece and make a tiny little loop there and hot glue it to itself. And then, well, that's where I think I'm going to make a bigger one, but I don't. I end up going smaller. And I don't know why. I just want to show you all how to make this bow because it's easy. And, yeah, and then I glued that one in between the big one and the little one. Yeah. Well, not yet. I just set it there in between the big one and the little one. Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry, y'all. Good gravy. Oh, and then that was too big, so I made a smaller one. Oh, no. Okay, I deleted it. Anyway, and then, I think here's where I just glue it. Oh, I'm going to take a long piece for some tails. And, yeah, I'm just going to glue it together. You guys, I can't remember what it was, but I was, the number, like, I'm number 3 right now in hypes, and you guys are amazing, and I appreciate it. That's awesome. And I don't understand what the number 3 is, but, Google told me that I was number 50 in America, in the United States last week. Oh, my gosh. Out of everyone in the United States, I was number 50. I mean, I think that is amazing. You guys are awesome. I put some of those little gold and red balls down in there from Dollar Tree. And then some greenery. And then a couple little, those presents. I know this one was a long one. And that bow looks stupid. I've got to fix it. But I don't think it... See how those other filters came down when I painted it, it got wet. And now it's all discombobulated again. But I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. But that bow looks stupid. I got to make another bow. Just a regular shoestring bow for the top of it. And I don't know why my hand is in the whole video. Oh, my gosh. And I'm not showing anything. There we go. Oh, Lord have mercy, my editing. I don't know. I am so sorry, y'all. Anyway, you see down there what I did and how I weaved that basket. And I don't think it's bad for a coffee filter tree. And I'm so sorry. I can't do anything. But if you're new here, I was going to say, I'm never like this. But, honey, I'm like this all the time. Miss Deidre Driggers, you won the cans. Email me at KathyJoDiys, and we can discuss what we need to do. Okay, this is the Just Our Imagination Challenge, and this time Miss Tiffany won from Simply Blessed Crafts. She's been doing this thing from the beginning, y'all. She is amazing. She's so sweet. But you need to go to my description box and check out the links to her channel and to the playlist so y'all can watch it. I host this every second Monday of the month with Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIYs, my friend, my buddy, my pal. And these are the crafts that Tiffany made. And the other girls voted, and she won. Okay, right here. I got this. I love these. These are the ones I'm giving away this month. So, if you all, you can see what I'm doing, are interested in winning these, let me know how you found me. Like, did somebody tell you about me? Was it Google? Was it just up next on YouTube? What was it? I'm just curious. I'm nosy because I know what YouTube tells me and I want to know what y'all say. And anyway, after I get those all taken apart, I give them 2 coats of Rust-Oleum Linen White chalk paint. And then I'm going to... Oh, I'm measuring the inside of that one. This one was easy. And believe it or not. And I'm just going to mark, where I need to cut. And that's what I do. And then I make sure I get it straight. So I'm going to mark a line there. Because I know my cutting. And when I realize that it fit... horizontally. When it fit, then I cut it the other way. And I'm like, blah, blam. There we go. And it fit. And then with that one, I couldn't do that. I just pushed my poster board down and just, try to get a feel for it. And I'm like, I'm going to have to cut this 87 times till I just give up and don't cut it at all. Till I throw it in the garbage. But it fit. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying not to cough. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, I got the beautiful paper from Miss Kimmy Schimmel. Y'all, she sent those to me last year. There's like 1,000 of them. I don't know, different ones. They are gorgeous, and I could not wait to get my hands on them and use them. And I just realized she sent me fall ones also, and I forgot about them because I put them all in one bag just thinking they were Christmas, and I didn't get to use my fall ones, and I was very sad. But anyway, look, these are just so... You just wait. These are just... They're beautiful, but they're just, y'all just have to see them. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. Anyway, I hot glue my poster board inside my hairbrushes there. And then I'm just going to take my glue stick and I put it, I was like, dude, that ain't going to work. So I put it on the back of the paper. And I only showed you that because if y'all wonder why I didn't put glue all over the whole thing, like not in the middle, because I already did it on the inside of the thing there. And then I put my little picture in there and crooked. Yep. And then the same thing with the Santa Claus. And I put him in there a little bit crooked too. I'm like, gee whiz. And then make sure you rub it down really well. And then I thought, I'm going to distress it a little bit. Then I'm like, no, let's make these, look like wood. Give them the wood look. And that's what I did. I took that little cheapy brush Brenda had given me. She gave me 2 of them. Apparently, you can't find them anymore. And Waverly Antique Wax. And I brushed it onto my frames. Yep. And did the same thing to Mr. Santa Claus, too. I just wanted to make sure y'all knew how to do this. But I just give it a light coat. Like, I get most of the wax out of my brush before I brush it on. Because I just think it looks more natural when it's not heavy, And sometimes I'll take black paint or like truffle chalk paint and I'll put little circles in it like it's got knots. But then I take a really tiny brush here and very, very gingerly I paint the inside of it with that wax. And I didn't care how dark or anything it was there. I just did it because I didn't want to mess up. And then I take those little ring things that came on that brush and put them back on it. And I couldn't figure out how to cut these either. So I tell you, the best thing for you to do is to take your heat knife and do that because I struggled. And then what I decided to do is I poked a hole in it about halfway. And then I went to the other side and went about halfway again. And that's how I made my hanger holes. Yeah. And then I just kind of smoothed them out and got the rough edges off of it best I could. And then I'm going to take that wire ribbon from the Dollar Tree. And I cut it in half. But for Santa Claus, I used the whole piece. They were made different. But it came out looking square. And for the snowman, I was able to use a half piece. And I just wrapped it around the tops of where those knot things were. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then, well, I'm still going with that one. I did tuck, like, the jagged, more jagged piece behind the other piece so nobody would get their fingers cut. The top of those don't look the best. So if you win these, I'm sorry. It's just because of all that super glue to get that wire to stay. And then I stuck my finger in it about 87 times in both of them. And it just came out looking a little bit not great. But y'all will see it. But I put a lot of super glue. I wanted to make sure that it stayed. But, yeah. Like I said, you guys, I'm going to try to do a giveaway every week from now until Christmas DIYs are done. You know what I mean? So, try to give back to you all because y'all do so much for me and give to me. And y'all just bless me in so many ways. And I just want to try to give back some the best I can. And anyway, I'm just going to cut off have little greenery picks from picks that I've picked and plucked over the years, and I save it. And I'm just going to start hot gluing some pieces on look at him, the snowman. And anyway, and those come from Hobby Lobby. I got those last year, but they usually have them every year, those little tiny pine cones and berries. And I'm just going to hot glue a couple of them on. That one was broke, but I just put it on the broke side. You can't even see it. Anyway, and put a couple little berries on there. And, anyway, and then I take some floor wire, and I double it, and I run it out of frame completely. And then I don't know what that is. Me just standing there doing nothing. I don't know. Anyway, I run the floor wire through that ribbon and up through the other side so I can push it out the other side of that ribbon. It goes through that hole in the middle, you know what I mean? Good golly. And then I wrap it up on itself, and I put some greenery on him and that little tag, because I wasn't recording apparently. And I made a little tiny shoestring bow, and I dovetailed the ends, and I glue him there on the Santa Claus. And then, yeah, well, now I'm dovetailing the ends. And look at these, you guys. Oh, my goodness. Would you know that those were hairbrushes? No, you would not. Not unless you watched that. That blew my mind. I think these are gorgeous. I think they look vintage, and I absolutely 100% love them. But remember, if you want a chance to win them, let me know how you found me, how you found my YouTube channel, and I'll draw next month. And when you hear it from my lips and see it on screen, or just hear it from my lips because I ran out of time, then you know you won, guys. Anyway, it's Kathy Crafterson time. And so, a.k.a. Thanks, Rose. That's who this is. Look at her cool. Those skeletons pulling each other out of the grave and that ghost hanging from that tree. I think those are adorable. So neat. And this, look at my book stack she recreated, and her little howling cow. And look at all of her stuff, that birdhouse and her picture, all that stuff she made. And then Beth Bowman Ray, look at her Halloween and fall. I think those are adorable, and I love that can. And that one thing, I'm not sure what it is. I think it's a cookie tin. I don't know. But these snowmen, Beth Bowman Ray, same one. Oh, my goodness. Those made with pumpkins, because I may need to dupe you, because I love those snowmen. And Dana Smith, this cute little scarecrow. He's so adorable. It reminds me of that face of that one I made last year. Y'all remember? And that is just too cute. I love him. And then Kimberly Massey. This is really cool. She does bottle art. Now look at all that. I love that stagecoach. That is just too much. And that birdhouse, I mean, just, those are very good. Look at that scarecrow. It's so cute. But look at those. She did those also. But that treasure chest and stuff, that one is crazy. They're really good. You're very talented. And then Grammy Sagmo, you guys, she sent the little scarecrow last week. But then there's the one that holds her coffee. And look how cute those are, coffee pod. And then I wanted to put these on here again because apparently she didn't see the video where I put them in there. I love you, Grammy. Anyway, if you'd like to showcase your crafts on my channel, feel free to email me at KathyJoDiys@gmail.com. And they will be shown in the order received, and y'all need to read the rest of it. Okay, right here, y'all. I got that pick at Walmart this past summer for 38 cents. Yes, I did. And I'm just going to cut it down here and break it all apart. And then I got this one from Joann's when they were going out of business, which I love to get my greenery from there for Christmas. And oh no, I'm gonna miss that because they had the best and they had great deals, believe it or not. Anyway, and I'm just gonna put those together after I break them down, and I'm gonna go ahead and wire tie those two together, and then I'm going to take these cedar picks and I'm going to put them down in there. I know, and pick off that faux snow that I put on it. And I put 2 on each side. And what I do to one side, y'all, I do to the other. And then I'm going to take those pine picks right there. And I'm going to put them in there. And then 2 on each side again. And then I take a couple of spruce picks. That's not it. That's still the pine pick. And put them in there. That's still the pine pick right there. There's the spruce picks. I'm going to put them in there. I put them in the front. I have some that feels plastic and some that feel rubbery. I know. I wanted the rubbery feeling ones. And, yeah. So I'm going to do that. And then I got those beautiful picks from Hobby Lobby this year. 50% off. And listen, I looked at that price and I think it said $6.99. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize they were that expensive because they were by some other picks that said $4, and I thought I got them for $2. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Too late now, huh? They're going on this. I think I bought 4 of them though. Oh no. Anyway, and I wire tie those on there, and I'm gonna show y'all a very easy bow. Make a loop and just keep circling and circling and circling and circling. And if you're not picky and you don't care, you might end up with 8, you might end up with 9, you might end up with 7, but you just keep rolling it, or 6 until you until it's as big as you like it. I'm sorry, y'all. And then I go ahead and fold it and smash it down. I keep forgetting about all these bows that I know how to make, and I always do the same one. And I did a bow video tutorial years ago. Nobody really watched it. I mean, some people did. So anyway, I'm like, well, that ain't worth it. And then anyway, y'all see what I'm doing. I cut off extra for a tail, and I put them together and get them all straight, and I'm going to fold them in half. And after I do that, I'm going to get me a drink, guys. It might help. I cut some little tiny slits in the side of it. Now, that is not necessary, especially for a ribbon like this. It's to maneuver those loops better. I'm going to wire tie that together, and I fold it in on itself so I can get that center good. My throat's killing me. And just pull it really tight. And cut off that excess. And then just floof out your loops. Yeah, but if you got thick ribbon and stuff, or like something that's not sheer like that, see, you couldn't pull those that forward. They're just more manageable. Anyway, whatever. Look at my fat belly, you guys. I'm telling y'all, I've gained 11 pounds. Anyway, I got those bells from the Dollar Tree. One was last year, the gold one, and the 2 red ones was the year before last, I think. But I wire tied those together. I didn't hit record for that either by accident. But I'm just going to take some jute, and I take it up under and wrap it around and through the loops and back around. And then I'm going to run it through those loops there I just made and knot it to itself. Double knot it to itself. Did that make sense? It probably did not. But anyway, because I'm always making stuff and breaking it down and redoing it, reusing it, later. But I'm just going to take and make a somewhat messy bow, but no, I'm going to call it a crisscross bow because I go make an X and put one down the center because I don't like for it and then fold it in half when it's just got an X on a lot of sides and it stands straight out. And unless you make it really, really big, you got empty space at the top and bottom. Or the sides, whatever. Anyway, if you X and X and one across the middle of it, then it's full all the way around. You'll see what I mean. I know. And then I forgot that piece because I'm good like that. And then I had to cut that off and redo it all over again. But thought I deleted that out too, but apparently didn't. But anyway, and when you floof it out, May bought that beautiful ribbon. And I'm not even showing it for me. It is gorgeous. Oh, well, they're not. And it says Merry Christmas. And oh my goodness, she bought me all kinds of ribbon. Anyway, I'm going to tie those two to the mess there with just some jute twine. I'm going to double knot it. And then I'm going to take that Merry Christmas bow that I made, and it's just a Kathy Jo bow, a double loop Kathy Jo bow. And I'm going to hot glue it to the top of those other bows, because I can always take that off and reuse that bow again if I wanted. Anyway, and I put me some lights in it, y'all, and I think it's beautiful. What a beautiful swag. I do. And I think that's going to go on my front door. I don't know if my door will close. I might have to take off one of those bells. Oh, I bet I do. I bet I have to take off that gold bell because my door won't close. Well, huh? Anyway, okay, y'all. Don't judge me. So, I painted the bristles on that brush because we had to use the bristles with those 4 colors I just showed you. Blue, yellow, green, and red. And after I painted them, I took my big honking scissors and I cut them off. And then I start hot gluing them to a string of fairy lights. Now, I don't know what I was thinking. Apparently, I wasn't thinking. But these fairy lights are space gapped, very far apart. So I was gluing 4 of them in between each fairy light. And then they kept falling off. So I kept adding more hot glue. And y'all will see what happened. See? Oh, and then, like, where they were really long, I just snipped them off there. Y'all ain't seen yet. And then, there I go with more hot glue. Adding more hot glue to them. And then I had to flip it over and add hot glue to them. And then it was crooked, so I had to put more hot glue on one side to balance out how much. They turned into little balls. All they are is a bunch of balls on a string. Anyway, and I painted them. So, I'm going to take this frame from the Dollar Tree. It's one of those 12 by 12 frames. Sorry, y'all. And I got from a scrapbook from Hobby Lobby last year, I think, or year before last, sometime. But I'm going to put my frame back together, and I should have waited, you'll see. But, and I'm going to take this Christmas tree from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint it in that beautiful antique green. Love, love, love that color, y'all. Love, look how pretty it is. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, no, just wait. Anyway, when it dries. So then I take some celery by Waverly, and I take my brush and I just start making swoops down. And the paint is still wet on the tree. And if you do it very light-handedly, don't do it heavy, and maybe wipe some of your paint off and you just keep doing it until you get it how you like it. And I always use my paintbrush sideways. So my paintbrush is sideways. I go light-handed. And then, and then I like, well, I went too much. So I'm going to come back in with that antique green. And I just keep doing that, y'all, until it's how I like it. Yeah. Yeah. See? Anyway, that's what I did. And I like that there, but I end up going in with, and then I take Truffle by Waverly. And I took a little bit of that antique green, and I went up the center there, you see? But then I was like, I want that brown a little bit. So then I start, it's still wet, blending that in a little bit with almost like a dry brush. Very light-handed, brush sideways, and then I go back in and grab that celery and lighten it up a little bit. Yeah. And y'all can do it. It's really easy. Just practice. Anyway, so then I'm going to take my balls. I don't know what to call them. And I folded the fairy lights in half because I had cut... I was trying to cut that glue down, those balls, because they were getting too wonky. And I cut some balls off of it and lights. And then I was like, oh, no, but it still worked. And then I was doing it again, and then I cut some more lights off of it. I'm like, gee whiz, it's just getting shorter and shorter. So my balls that I made, they're on the other pieces that got cut off. So that's what I ended up with when I was all done. Anyway, and I'm just going to tack them down. Hot glue. And then when this Just Our Imagination video is over, I'm just going to take those balls off and make that prettier. Anyway. Without some very bright primary colored balls on it, And then I take more I don't know why, lights from the Dollar Tree that are the color of those bowls, and I take them to it also, and I run it through the back, and then I put the back on it, and and then I take one of those stores that I got off a 4th of July sign from the Dollar Tree 2 or 3 years ago, and I'm gonna put it, hot glue it down to the top of my Christmas tree, and then I am going to take gold leaf rubbing buff and get it everywhere, accidentally on my frame and on my tree. And I'm like, well, poop. So then I just went ahead and put it all over the entire frame. And I have to go back in and tack my tree. Fix my tree where I messed it up. Yeah. And here it is. It's interesting. Looks like a kindergartner did it, but I did it. Here's everything, y'all. Look at those ornaments. Remember, if you want to win them, let me know how you found me, guys. And my beautiful swag. I love it. I think it's gorgeous. As I do. And you guys, I had 3 or 4 other DIYs that I'd made for this video, and they didn't make it because, honestly, that tree right there, that coffee filter tree, was going to be the death of me. I worked on it for over 24 hours because I was stressed out over a stupid coffee filter tree. But I think it's cute. It just needs a new bow. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Mwah.